There's just something about men sleeping in that I can't stand.
All right, go ahead and add that one to the list.
Like, I get it, I'm the problem, whatever.
It's so refreshing to see someone that's actually self-aware that, yeah, they're the problem.
As a man, why are you still asleep?
Well, here's a thought. Maybe he's tired.
You should be outside mowing the lawn.
Just imagine the progress that could have been made on that lawn if someone else had decided to do something nice for another person, but instead they decided to make a video about them sleeping in.
So I just can't, I don't know. Wake up. Why are you all dainty still laying in bed? Why are you still sleeping? Get up. Go clock in. Okay, go build a house. Go clean the grill. I don't know. Find something to do. Wake up.
I really don't think that some women actually want equality. Or for that matter, maybe they just don't know what it means because they want all of the privileges that come with it. But heaven forbid they actually put in the same amount of work.
I have the heart. I need nothing more.
You're set. Try not to linger here, though, eh?
Kratos. Zeus.
Zeus?
My father.
Your father was Zeus? That explains a lot.
What is that place?
Never go there. Understand?
A real boy needs a real name.
Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do.
Got her name?
Right? Joe.
I do hope you're satisfied with your product.
Question for the men. Are you guys, like, okay? Like, are you getting enough compliments and hugs and shit? So I went to the grocery store with my friend Tommy, and there was this guy there, and he was, like, pure muscle, right? Like, serious muscle everywhere, and he was just, like, strolling his cart, whatever, and he looked kinda sad. He was just, like, loading some cleaning supplies into his cart, whatever, and, like, my friend Tommy and I, like, looked at each other and were like, he looks amazing. But anyway, I walked up to him and I was like, excuse me, like, I just want to let you know, like, you look amazing, like, have a good day. And this man looked at me as if he had never gotten a compliment in his entire fucking life. Like, he didn't know what I was saying. He, like, looked at me, like, all confused and shit for, like, a few seconds and then was like, thank you. Men, does anybody ever compliment you? Like, not creepy compliments, just, like, regular-ass compliments? Because I feel like nobody ever compliments guys, and, like, nobody ever, like, gives flowers to guys. Why are they always expected to get us flowers, but, like, no?
No. Most men do not get compliments. Okay? From men or women. Now, I'm trying to think, what was the last compliment I got? I think I got a compliment a couple months ago of how I dress and on this leather jacket right here. But it's not an everyday occurrence. Now, for women, I'm pretty sure, not all of you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you get compliments every single day, multiple times, especially the beautiful ones. The ones that might be always at work, working in a job where they're in the cooking or the dish room, or they are working in a factory, probably they don't get as many compliments. I'm pretty sure women walking around, especially if they take some time to get their hair done and they throw on something nice, they get compliments. Heck, I'm pretty sure women that's just in sweats get complimented. And don't let me even get to women that go to the gym. You may not get complimented at the gym just because men don't want to come off as harassing you or creepy, which that can be a good thing in a way because I know sometimes men can get a little bit overzealous. It's not all of us, but it only takes one of us to kind of spoil the pot, in so many words, if we go overboard. Anyway, my name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my life and dating experience. Welcome, my brothers and sisters. I'm glad you are here. Give me a like and subscribe and a share. Today's video is about, and it's something I commented on, men, and not all men do this, but most men are taught how to treat a woman when they are growing up. I know I definitely was, especially men in single parent homes where their mom is rearing them. They will say, open the door, walk on that side of the pavement, let her go first, give her your seat. Those are things that is rammed down our throat and shoved into what we should be doing. Now, I'm not sure with Generation Alpha how they are being raised exactly. Generation Z, you guys, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure your moms did the same thing. Now, even when I was being raised, I never really heard, especially in America, I never really heard, especially in the black community, I never really heard, even in conversations when women are talking, I never really heard women say how they can treat a man. Most of the time is what a man is doing or not doing, what he should be doing, what he should have, how tall he is, that type of stuff there. As we see in this era, when men are saying we want women that are feminine, non argumentative, non confrontational, submissive, a lot of those words, I don't agree with the submissive thing. Mine is more of a cooperation thing because I want the woman to feel like we are working together. Yet some women may take that submissive thing in a positive light. But to cover the whole board, I go with us cooperating with each other. So, this video, because most men do not talk about this except in a clip or a small conversation, but this is how a woman should try to treat a man that she's invested in, that she likes, that she loves, that she wants to marry. Okay? A lot of this does depend on how you treat people in general. And usually women are a little bit better with being cordial without being told how to do it. Yet I think it is always lost when they are dealing with men in relationships. I will say when I have female associates or friends, they tend to be pretty okay. They tend to be nice, respectful. I can't really say they be offering me stuff. I guess that's more what men saying, okay, I'll offer to do this for you. I will say I have had women offer me things or want to drive me somewhere, that type of stuff. I have one clip right here that this guy made a phenomenal point. This woman asked a good question, but he made a phenomenal point.
Women are looking for financially secure men. What in exchange would be of equal value to a man?
There's probably three big primary things from the Christian perspective that we would want. I think that men essentially want peace in their home. This is a big one that people forget about all the time. The best way you can show a man respect is to understand and anticipate the things that he wants before he even knows that he wants them. And the way that that shows respect and the way that that shows that you love him is because if you can anticipate those things, he knows that you're paying attention to him very closely. So you're the focus. And then the third thing is you have to put him above your own needs and your own desires. And number three is the thing that I think women, at least in modernity, fail at the most, that women are trained from birth now how they deserve to be treated. And men are trained from birth how they're supposed to treat women. But nobody is trained from birth for how they're supposed to treat men.
Well put, Andrew.
Yes, good point, Andrew. And we're not going to glaze over one point that he said before he got to the thing that this video is mostly about, how a woman should be concentrating on how she treats a man. He has said with the woman to put his needs above her. And the man should do that vice versa as well. Both of you should be trying to please the other and looking out for what the other person wants more than what you want. Now, you also need to have some separation and be able to be a separate entity as well. That's a balancing act now, but I think that's also important so people don't get lost in the marriage and then wake up being like, oh, I gave up so much and I didn't do what I wanted to do. Now, I will often hear when a woman leaves a man that she says that was good to her, that was a good man. Usually because she got bored, but I think because she lost a feeling or she just married him to hit the milestones. This is why I don't think family should be trying to force women to get married and have kids, because I know women get that pressure that a man, well, we get it a little bit, but not as much. Yet when women get that type of peer pressure, that will sometimes have them marrying anyone and then waking up one day and saying they want something different. They want to live another type of life. And I don't want them to do that. I don't want the woman to settle. I don't want them to do something that's going to affect me, because she gets walk away money when she leaves. I have to pay the bag and I lose a bunch of other stuff and I become part-time dad. Okay. So we not doing that experiment no more. It's going to be the long haul or no haul at all. And that's what I think in a relationship you both have to sacrifice, or don't do it at all. Okay? With women doing that, saying they gave up so much for their man, and a lot of times I think there was people pleasing with other people, whether it was family and friends, and the man was also in that bunch, and then they just want to do them. No one will be able to convince me otherwise, but I do think women have a higher probability of waking up and divorcing you one day, or you being in a sexless marriage, or her not being happy all of a sudden, or being bored, if you're not her first choice, if you are not a man that she desires. If that's the case and she's just marrying you so that she can be married and then have some kids, don't do that. Unless if the woman happens to be one of those anomalies that she stands by her word and she has loyalty and she will make the situation work. You're not her first choice or her second or third choice, but you are the man that she's with and she's going to put all that she has in it. Now, there are women like that, but you can't tell which one it is that could be that particular woman because they all come in a certain kind of way when they're ready to get married that will fool you. So that thing right there. But let's start with one step first. How the woman can treat a man. And I'm not saying she has to degrade herself or wait on him hand and foot, unless if she wants to. But again, it depends on the woman or how the man makes her feel that she'll be acting this kind of way.
I got rejected for the first time in my life. You guys know how I was looking for a man to spoil? Rotten. I found one. And guess what happened? Guess what I did, first of all? I think I told you guys. This woman doesn't exist. This is a fairy tale. I'm right here. And I gave him my side of the bed, so whenever he woke up in the morning, he had the better view. I gave him hours of massages. I bought a rain machine for my apartment so he could sleep better. I was always on top. Not once did he do it for mine. I always tried to pick up the bill. I washed his back, literally. I put moisturizer on his face. I always big spooned. I bought him headphones when his over ears were broken. I was trying to order him ice cream because his blood sugar got low, and I was asking him what flavor he wanted. He said, "How about you stop waiting on me hand and foot?" All of that just for him to say he doesn't think we're compatible.
Most men will agree that they will never be this lucky to have a woman like this. That guy fumbled hard, but I'm truly wondering why. Let me know, guys, if you have any theories.
And these women do exist, going by what she said. And it looked like she has some decent money. Now, I do think, because she said she was looking for a man to spoil her. And of course, though, don't pick any dude. Yet, I'm thinking that he was a chatter Tyrone. Okay. Because, okay, I know for me, I would be surprised if a woman going through that type of length, but I would appreciate it because that doesn't happen that often. I have had women treat me very well for a short period of time in between, in the beginning, maybe a little bit toward the middle with the one that I married. Yet I would definitely see a drop off when I guess the feelings start fading. Okay. So, especially because that was early in the relationship that she probably was doing that, and the guy just dumped her. Now, of course, though, I believe she's probably leaving some stuff out. Maybe she was checking his phone. Look, the one thing I definitely know, if a woman is investing with you like that, because I know I know with the ex-wife, when she was investing like that, she was up my ass of where I was, who I was talking to, that type of stuff right there. So I think it's hard for a woman to be giving you that much attention and love and not become a little crazy. Okay. And that's when I'll take the pros and cons and be like, okay, I'll deal with it because she's doing all this. Because she's doing all this, I'll deal with this stuff. But when she starts being crazy and she's not doing that stuff, that's when she got to go. She got to go. So I think women will figure out how to treat a guy, but I think it works best if she sees positive interaction between her mom and dad of how to do that, because the dad's not going to also tell her like, hey, you should treat a guy like that. So for men, y'all bad with this too. Y'all do not. I try to do this with my daughter, okay, because I'm conscious of men don't do it either. And women don't do it. They'll probably tell them, certain cultures of women, they'll tell them how to nail the man down to get married. Now, the thing that I do notice is that women of from other countries, they tend to be better with that. Thing is the thing with, and I have to do a video on this. It's like the grass is greener type of thing. I think because they have men, and maybe they do treat some of their men well, but when they're pursuing a man that they believe is better, okay, making them feel like, oh, this is going to be a better experience, a new experience, you can get better treatment from those types of women that already have the prerequisite of how to maybe treat a man to gain a husband, because they're not doing it for nothing. On the opposite side, especially in my culture, I know women are taught this type of stuff growing up.
He don't like you. He don't call you. He don't like you. He don't keep his word. He don't like you. He's inconsistent. He has someone else. He only calls you when he wants something. He's using you. He starts random arguments. He's cheating on you. He's not investing in you. You're not worth the investment. Never met his family. You're not the one. Been with your guy 5+ years. No ring. No marriage. He's still searching. You're a placeholder. Men are not complicated. They're very easy to know. Men don't talk with their words. They talk with their actions.
Yes, women are taught that from their mothers, their aunts, their girlfriends, even other dudes, that type of stuff there. But nobody really was pulling the collar. Nobody was pulling my collar saying how to weed out these women. I had to pretty much figure it out. The thing that I usually always say is that men concentrate on getting women. So whether a man is trying to sell you a course, pickup artist, that type of stuff, is always a man trying to gain a woman, whether it's just to get in her panties or to marry her or to make her his girlfriend. Is not to see what she's doing, if she's worth all of that or she's worth the wait. Okay, that's something that a lot of men do not be imparting on the younger men. We have to learn the hard way. But men now, and that's mostly in that red pill space or man space, they do that. Now, of course, though, they go off on left field. All women are bad and all women are this. And they start putting all women in the same box, even if they're saying women's nature, because men and women both have a certain nature, animalistic nature of how they will not be the best person. Yet, if they find somebody that they really like or they have strong feelings for, they will fight that nature. Okay? Because as a man, if he's getting attention of a lot of women, especially women that are attractive, he's probably going to indulge with each and every woman. Okay, that's why you women that be wanting those basketball players or those celebrities, y'all rolling the dice. I'm not going to say all of them are bad, but the temptation is strong. Now, same thing with women that's getting a lot of attention from men that have means or men that are the men that they can really, well, they want and they can get. The basketball players, football players, celebrity dudes, okay? Or even dudes that's on yachts, okay? As a man, I know I'm competing with that. Unless if the woman is more grounded, she's not really in that life trying to get in the spaces of those types of men, and she just wants to have a normal, well, she wants to have a good experience, but she's living a normal life. I would say if you in the US, try to find women that's in those spaces. Don't be trying to get a woman that's a basketball groupie or that's always happen hanging with rappers. That type of stuff right there. Okay. See, but when men are trying to tell other men things to avoid, whether it's single moms, I don't really have nothing against single moms. It does depend on the amount of kids that she had and the amount of baby daddies. And I'm always fair. I have one daughter, so if she has a kid, maybe two. And it also depends how old and depends on how the kid acts. Okay, I'll go ahead and see where that goes because we could be a great match or we may not. Yet men will say avoid those types of women or avoid women that have 304 pass and stuff like that. And as men, we have the right to have the choice to entertain the women that we want and disregard the ones that we don't. The same way as the women that don't want to deal with certain types of men. Okay. So, and that's a separate conversation right there. So, did I even answer how women can treat men? Well, it has been certain things sprinkled in there, but I would say to a woman, if you like the man, if you want to spoil him, do nice things for him, okay? And above all else, please give men this.
Men only want one thing, and it's not money, it's not power, it's
appreciation. The answer is appreciation. Men want to be appreciated for all of the hard work that they do to feed a family, to drive, to lead. They're the ones that start the conversations. They're the ones that ask out on the date, put themselves out there, have to pay for it. They just want to be appreciated and not be told that they're the worst, that they're the devil, that they're awful human beings, because that's just not true.
Men only want one thing.
Actually, men want three things. But yes, we definitely want and need appreciation, especially from the woman that we are investing in. We do definitely want the intimacy, though. Okay, let's not forget that. That's not the only thing that we want, but we definitely, that's big on our thing. I know for women, that's, you always put that down to a degree, but that's big. And of course, we want the respect, which I think that always goes hand in hand with the appreciation. But if most women would do those three things right there, okay, and a lot of you cannot do all three of those things. But the women that can do all three of those things, they are golden. Unfortunately, a lot of those women that can do those things, especially in the beginning, is the 304, unfortunately. Okay, because most of the guys that I see that have messed with 304s, they always seem really smiling happy in the beginning. Okay, and that tells me that she's hitting all three of those, and then of course she'll trail off because she has an end game in mind. So that's the main thing. Just try to do your guy right. Otherwise, they'll do what I tend to do in relationships, and I need to stop.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy treats you the way he wants to be treated first, and then he starts treating you the way you've been treating him?
Yes, and she generalized with this statement because not all men do this. Some men may see what they can get away with or if they can get over on the woman, and the women vice versa. Yet, because I know I'm one of those, and I'll put the olive branch out first. I will treat her as good as I can treat her. Okay, I'll put my heart and soul in it. And once I start seeing that she's being shady or treat me bad, being inconsistent, non-reciprocal, then eventually I'm gonna be like, fuck it. Okay. The only thing good that's happening here is the intimacy, and I want to stay for that, but I'm going to start shutting down all the other stuff, and that is when I should just leave. When somebody is showing you that particular thing, it doesn't matter how long you've been with them. You may as well just cut your losses. But what if you got marriage and kids? As I say again, for the man, it's not so easy for us to just pick up and walk away. So we have to be more pre-game selective of not getting into that situation in the first place. And I will say, no matter how good an actor she is, she will show you tells before it gets to that point. So you gotta make sure you don't get to the point. Otherwise, you'll be like this dude here.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure it out. But I am not going to cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry. That's too much work for me. I'm not going to do it. Plus, he's so picky with his food that he might as well just cook it himself. So like that, he doesn't have nothing to complain about.
Tell me you don't like your husband without telling me you don't like your husband. Because at that point, you're in the middle of cooking. Like, it really doesn't take that much effort to add a little bit more food to the pan. Even if it's just a fried egg, like after you take out the scrambled eggs from the same pan, just oil it up and then throw in one more egg. It blows my mind that people really are being treated this way within a relationship. Because while I do believe that there are healthy dynamics where one person takes care of their stuff and the other person takes care of their stuff, how are you showing each other that you love each other if you're not doing things for each other? That doesn't mean that you do what you want to do for that person. That means that you do what they want you to do for them. But unfortunately, I think what's happening for a lot of women is an overcorrection. They have traditionally taken on the role in the kitchen, and now there's some women out there that are absolutely refusing anything to do with the kitchen. Even if it's feeding their children, I mean, at least this lady is cooking for her children. But could we all see this potentially, ladies, as an overcorrection that you can show love to your man by cooking him something? Just a thought.
Yes, Emily, I believe that is an overcorrection. And the men are doing the same thing in the man space. So that's why dating market is a mess. The men are wilding out because they don't want to put up with that type of treatment no more. Now, the one thing though that she said, which I believe is true, is she told him how she was, and he accepted it anyway. Now, I do have to agree she's right with that. Like, hey, I already told you, okay, and you still jumping into the pool anyway. I will say, as men and women, a lot of times when people say this type of stuff, because I remember a person telling me that she wouldn't have intimacy before marriage. And I was like, oh, okay, I respect that. I still tried in certain instances when we got close or it was a moment, and eventually we started having intimacy. I didn't force it. I didn't say, "Hey, you don't love me. We should do it." No, I just, if we was cuddling up or something, I might just start trying to make a move. And it didn't happen at first, but it happened eventually. Of course, though, I think it only happened because her first choice, she was still messing around with her first choice, and they almost went the whole way. So we ended up Okay, that's another story. The point is, sometimes if we like a person and they tell us that they're not going to do this, or oh, and I think the person also say, well, I don't cook or something. I was like, okay. Once the person started getting into a relationship, having feelings, they did start cooking. So sometimes we do think a person will change, or we can change them or change their mind over time. Don't do that. Okay. It did work for me, but it obviously did not work for him. I think with that video, I think he kicked her out and decided to divorce her. See, with all these videos, sometimes I wonder, is it a skit or something? Because even though he's divorcing her, I don't see how he could just kick her out and she's crying. I don't have that video. So that's the thing with that. But either way, I know there's women like this that exist and the men just take it. Don't get into that situation. She's telling you a bunch of stuff like this in the beginning. Don't get yourself into that situation, because later you will be kicking yourself. So that's pretty much it right there. Women, do not treat your husband like this, because you decide to marry him, okay? And hopefully it's not just because you wanted walk away money or superficial reasons. You actually loved him or cared about him. You want to share your life with him. So act like it. I know that men's supposed to show their love by action, but now in 2025, women have to show their love as well, because a lot of you have been talking way too much. So give me a like and subscribe, and have a good night.
Dirty word. Your ego has driven you out of truth. You only played yourself, got no